I'm back. I need some good film editing. I thought I could be a one take person, but it wasn't. So here you go. I will continue. I love that as he's talking about battling the circumcision in verse 6, and then even in verse 14, it goes back to that this is what is most important is expressing itself in love. And it says, what is the greatest commandment is to love one another. As you're battling this legalism, and even as we're thinking about our freedom, he still is saying that it's most important to think about others and our freedom. And especially in this time of isolation, it goes on later in chapter 5. It talks about what's it mean to live by the Spirit and what's that look like. And then it outlines, our selfish behavior. I won't go through those. But I think living in isolation, there are some great things. But as I've talked to some leaders, what many are saying is what is fun and great about it is getting to do whatever I want. And there is some wonderful things in that. But I think it also can lead us to selfish behavior and a behavior that is, when we're isolated, we start seeing some of these things pop out of dissension and selfish ambition and envy. And it's just easy, even when you're living closely with your family, for those things to pop up and for frustration to pop up. Frustration and not being able to control that. And so another question that you'll see is, is there something that's creeping back in? Is there something that is destructive behavior that's coming back? Where you are watching stuff you shouldn't watch, or you're saying things you shouldn't say, or you're just, honestly, just pursuing yourself and being selfish. And then he ends it with the fruit of the Spirit: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. Hey, which one of those do you feel like is coming out of you today? Like if you were to ask other people, what would they say? What fruit of the Spirit are you known for? And that's one of your questions, one of your challenges. Ask your roommates, or if you're in Clemson with roommates, ask your family, ask someone, a close friend, like, what fruit of the Spirit are you known for? Because I like to think I'm known for this, but it may be something totally different that other people see. And so ask that question. And then the last question I would say is, what fruit do you want the Lord to cultivate in you today and this week? I'm going to read the last verse and then share one more thing. Verse 26, let us not become conceited or provoke one another or be jealous of one another. As we live by the Spirit, let us not become conceited. I think freedom is the greatest thing, but we are bound to Christ, and it's freedom in Him, not freedom of our own volition and our own desires. And then the last is this. I was given this book. It's called Prayer, 40 Days of Practice. And the one today is this. And it's simple. It's got, I know you can't read it because it's backwards, but there's a picture, artwork, and words. And the words say this: may the depth of my generosity never be swayed by the depth of thanks I receive. May the depth of my generosity never be swayed by the depth of thanks I receive. And what that says to me is, just like this, none of it is bound to another thing. Like my love of Christ, my following the Holy Spirit is not bound to anything I'm given or anything I do. And it's not a quid pro quo of I do this, thus I get that. And I think as young life leaders, you know that the most. Because if you only did young life for the thanks that you receive, we would all stop a month into it. But I'm telling you, I am thankful for you. I'm thankful for what you do in pursuing high schoolers and middle schoolers, students with special needs. I'm thankful for that. And there are many people that are thankful for that, but you don't ever hear it. And so thank you for continuing to pursue our friends. I'm battling with Sawyer. He wants to show you some artwork. Hey, I'll show you this, what he did. And sorry for the long post. Hope you enjoy. And sorry for my editing skills and bumpy videoing. Look at that. We haven't finished. We got to put the white in the checkerboard. I know Cam Ritter is going to love it. I don't know if anyone else will, but Neyland Stadium. Yep. Haslam Field at Neyland Stadium. There you go. Actually, I don't think it is Haslam Field. Anyway.
We also have to do the stands.
Yes. Hey, have a great day. We'll talk to you soon. Be on the lookout for that Sawyer workout video. Bye.